Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Topa Field here in beautiful and historic Newport, Rhode Island, where the Salve Regina University Seahawks will be taking on the Scots of Gordon College in the Commonwealth Coast Conference semifinal playoff matchup. The Seahawks 16-0-3 on the season. The Scots 10-6-1, but none of that matters right now. These teams are 1-0 in the postseason and will battle today for the right to play in the Commonwealth Coast Conference Championship this Saturday. Hello again, I'm Andrew Pizzelli, bringing you the call here this afternoon, a beautiful afternoon in Newport for some soccer. I'd like to bring into the broadcast now my good friend Sal Gualtieri. Sal, how are we doing here this afternoon?
Good, Andrew. These two teams met 11 days ago and drew 1-1, the lone ties for both clubs. But like you said, none of that matters this afternoon. And the winner will move on to play Saturday afternoon. The Seahawks got a big win on Sunday afternoon, a 1-0 win over Nichols. They played 3 days prior to that, and we did the game, and it was not the same as the game that I called on Sunday. It was a lot more tense, obviously, with the playoff atmosphere. But Nichols just seemed like they wanted it a lot more. Not more than the Seahawks, but they just really wanted it, and the Seahawks came out victorious.
Yeah, it was Connor Woods putting home a Ventura. Ventura got the assist, his first point of the year, on a play that looked more like, as you said, of a shot towards the net, and Woods just behind the defense, able to put it back to the far bar and sneak it past the Nichols keeper. 1-0 final in that game to bring the Seahawks here today.
What a time to get your first collegiate point.
In net for the Scots is Wesley Sprague. 13 games played on the year, 11 starts. He's 8-5, 63 saves with a 139 goals against average. Meanwhile, for Salve Regina, it is Michael Payan, 18 starts on the year. He has only allowed 12 goals this season, a .66 goals against average, 72 saves for a .857 save percentage, 16-0-2 is his record, 10 shutouts on the year, and it could be 11. He split time in the net with Francesco Boncaldo on senior day.
Seahawks looking for their 17th win, which would break the program record for most all-time in a season. Of course, the 16th win of 2012 was the championship winning game against Nichols.
Matt O'Donnell drops back off to Richie Lester. Two senior captains connecting there, now to the far side. That's John Julian moving it up into the midfield. Lester trying to get to it, and they're going to drop it back off to Casey Kelly.
It'll be important, Andrew, for the Seahawks to stay engaged throughout this one. The last time these two teams met 11 days ago, the Seahawks took it to the Scots early, scoring in the first 15 minutes, and then kind of took a seat and relaxed a little, and the Fighting Scots scored a late equalizer and the lone draw for both clubs.
Lester trying to squirt one through for Ventura, getting the start here today. Scots with the ball, trying to poke it over midfield. They do. Still along the far touchline, and now dropped back off Ball towards midfield. Noah Medeiros steps into that. Moves it to the far side. Owen Stevenson now trying to find McDonald. Poked free and taken by the Scots. Micah Craig moves it to the near side. Ryan Modzelewski plays it ahead. Grabbed by Casey Kelly with the foot. Now to O'Donnell. Connor Woods has it taken away. Micah Craig again. Scots move to the far side of the field now. And driving it with the left leg is Colin Surface. And John Julian will just play it back to Michael Payan, who will boot it away. Falling just over midfield, headed by the Scots. Jordan Elster can't run into it. Surface once again. Chipping it into the corner. Knocked away by Medeiros into midfield. Owen Stevenson now all alone at midfield. Spinning away from contact, finds Elster down the far touchline. Elster, a little stop and start, trying to make his move to the inside. Finds Stevenson. Back to Elster. Ventura now out high. Neely had it poking away from behind. In the middle, Evan McDonald trying to get it to Ventura and Stevenson. Taken back by the Scots. O'Donnell toes down a pass at midfield. And his outlet into the corner is deflected. Lester jumping in to rip it back for Salve. Now Casey Kelly will try and spin it to the far side of the field. John Julian hustling to head it forward towards Jordan Elster. Ventura now sends it down the line, and Elster is not going to be able to catch up to this as it goes out of play. 3 minutes gone here in the first half.
Desperation so far from both sides. Andrew trying to establish their type of play in this one. The Seahawks, of course, known for their skillful play so far this season, the most goals in program history, and they could put it in the back of the net.
Lester drops on back to Casey Kelly, who will walk it through midfield. And in the middle now to Evan McDonald. McDonald now trying to pick his way, touches it to Stevenson. Give and go passes knocked away, taken by the Scots. Casey Kelly runs into Tyler Modzelewski. Now Medeiros back out to O'Donnell. Staggering, he plays it back to Medeiros. Sends it all the way across to Elster. Elster to McDonald, who lets it go by. Elster able to run under it. Trying to feed it towards the net. It's blocked. Elster now across, looking for Woods. And it'll go out of play. A little miscommunication there between Woods and Elster, it seemed. Looked like Elster was wanting Woods to step forward and then back towards the ball. Throw in now, headed towards the cage, and it is simply grabbed by Wesley Sprague.
Sprague, third team all-conference this season. 6'2" sophomore from Naperville, Illinois. And Matt Horth, a Gordon graduate, the coach at Gordon, has spent some time recruiting. He's got a few players from Georgia, a few from upstate New York and Oregon. Definitely spent some time on the recruiting trail.
Ball kicked out of play by the Scots. John Julian will throw in from the far touchline. Ryan Modzelewski will throw in here from the near touchline. Colin Surface spinning it forward, headed by Woods. Kelly trying to keep it in play, cannot. And it will be a throw-in for Ryan Modzelewski along the near touchline for Gordon. Tosses it into Ramirez. Surface. Ball down the line now, into the corner. John Julian waiting, able to get a toe on it, deflects it out of play. Tyler Modzelewski will throw in. It'll actually be Surface now, the one chucking it in towards Modzelewski, trying to turn along the goal line. Julian finds it and feeds it out of play. Colin Surface again tossing in towards Richie Lester's corner. Ventura knocks it free. Thought he knocked it off of Ian Burkhart. Ball on the far side. Scots with possession. Burkhart moves it out high to Micah Craig. Scots with possession out wide. Now we'll move it to the near side. Trying to get into it is Ryan Modzaleski. Able to settle it down, looking to cut inside. Moves it into the middle to Noah Craig. And deflected back into Scott's territory. Turning is Stephen Hines. Back to Sprague, who sends it away with the right foot over midfield. Headed forward by Julian. A sliding header. Ryan Modzaleski slowly forward. On the ground, intercepted by Casey Kelly. Angling back into his own territory, turns it over. Tyler Modzaleski now with the steal. Ball knocked free to Medeiros, and he'll just boot it out of trouble out to midfield. Micah Craig weaving to the near side. Ryan Modzaleski plays it into the corner. Casey Kelly chasing against Yarvin Ramirez. And they call offsides against the Scots. Goal kick here from Michael Payan. Grabbed by the Scots. Ramirez at midfield. Lester to intercept. Ball will find its way to Ramirez. And the foul called here against Salve.
Ramirez tripped up there. CCC Rookie of the Year. The Scots had the most players be recognized in the entire conference. They had 8 and the Seahawks had 7.
Head coach Craig O'Rourke barking out orders here. Was named Coach of the Year. Payan off the kick will grab it.
Payan picking up right where he left off. 7 saves in that win on Sunday, and he made some big saves late, which allowed the game to stay scoreless and give the Seahawks the lead. As is controlled by the Fighting Scots. Here's Modzaleski. He dumps it in, but it goes right to O'Donnell, and he intercepts. O'Donnell has it. He finds Ventura. Ventura looking for Elster outside. He finds him. Elster. Colin Surface approaching him. Elster trying to blow by. He can't. And it's a foul on Jordan, and we're going the other way.
Foul called on Jordan Elster, so both teams trying to up their energy here and get towards the net. That shot off the penalty, off the foul, was the first shot on net in the game for either side. Elster that time trying to bull his way towards the cage. And Sprague will kick it away. Headed forward into Seahawk territory. Medeiros will roll it to Jordan Elster. He drives it out to midfield, finds Evan McDonald. McDonald chips it wide. Stevenson will have time to collect it wide in the far corner. Finds Ventura. Back to Stevenson. Touch to McDonald. Now Stevenson trying to run through a crowd. Loses it. Taken back by the Scots at midfield. Matt O'Donnell will intercept. And across now to Casey Kelly. O'Donnell chipping it long and deep. Headed by the Scots. Ramirez now. Given back to Casey Kelly. Near side, Connor Woods, who was the hero on Saturday. Woods to McDonald. Wanted to spin to the inside. The ball rolled off his foot and given away to the Scots.
Ventura called for a push there.
Yeah, Richie Ventura called for the foul. Away from the ball, trying to fight his way through the Scots defense. Sprague will play it on the ground. Taken on the near side. All right, Modzaleski drops it back off. Stephen Hines now all the way across. And back to Sprague. Owen Stevenson, the lone man up for Salve. Craig nearly taken away by Lester. Now Ventura finds McDonald, looking to turn at midfield and run. McDonald, the long distance try that goes wide.
Good idea from McDonald there, Andrew. Just let it go. Wesley Sprague obviously not expecting a shot there. And McDonald got some good wood on it. but just wide. It'll be a goal kick for Sprague. His goal kick will reach midfield. Elster going up, he wins it. Lester trying to do the same, he can't. And Medeiros clears. McDonald battling with it with Micah Craig. And here's Matt O'Donnell now. O'Donnell has it. Looking for options, he finds Connor Woods streaking down the left side. And Woods is stopped by Modzelewski. And it goes out of play. It'll be a throw-in for the Fighting Scots.
Good job there again. Yavin Ramirez there defensively for Gordon. And again, they will play back to the keeper. Ball on the far touchline. And a tackle there made by Ventura. Strong play to rip it away. O'Donnell finds Stevenson. And then Stevenson has it stripped from behind. And then Stevenson trips up. I believe that's Micah Craig.
Great play by Craig there. And Stevenson just fouling Craig out of anger and losing the ball. But Craig doing a job well done. Craig and his brother Noah are from Corvallis, Oregon. Noah's a junior and Micah is a freshman.
Kick sailing into Seahawk territory. Kelly pops it into the air, headed first by the Scots. Headed again into the far corner. Jordan Elster backtracking, looking for space, trying to send it down the line, able to keep it in play. And stripped from Ventura. Kept alive by the Scots now. Free at midfield. Here's Craig. Ryan Modzelewski in the middle towards Burkhart, trying to move it back into the corner to Ramirez, who's run over by Casey Kelly. Ramirez looking around for a call, none coming. Quickly the throw comes to Stevenson, looking to turn and run down the far line, and it's played all the way back to the keeper. Strong play by Stephen Hines. Julian able to flick it forward, kept in by the Scots. Julian again intercepting. Wide of Elster, but he's able to strip it from behind and send it out towards Owen Stevenson. And once again, this time Travis Singh there to challenge Stevenson, but it goes off his foot out of play. Seahawks will throw in from the far touchline. Elster will hand off to Julian to do the honors right next to the Seahawk bench. Nearly 15 minutes gone here in the first half. Still no score in this Commonwealth Coast Conference semifinal. Second-seeded Seahawks against the third-seed Scots of Gordon College. McDonald trying to feed it into the middle towards Stevenson, knocked away by the Scots, all the way back out at midfield. Casey Kelly now will look for space, and now Woods will test the left side. O'Donnell surveying the field now with the right foot, sends it all the way across, trying to get Elster. Knocked away by the Scots. Julian pinching in, and he draws a foul.
Big opportunity here for the Seahawks, Andrew. The first set piece and their first real chance to break this deadlock.
Looks like it's going to be McDonald to take the kick. And quickly he plays it in front, headed away by the Scots. Medeiros swings it into the far corner. Elster will try to run under it and keep it along the goal line. Does. Finds McDonald just trying to settle the ball down. It goes out of play. And it will be a goal kick for the Scots. That ball just bouncing too difficult for McDonald to settle down, or else he would have had a quality shot towards the net.
Just unlucky there from McDonald. Couldn't control it, like you said.
Kick from Sprague. O'Donnell spinning at midfield. Chips for Woods, able to run under it at the 30-yard line. Woods now, softly for Stevenson, now O'Donnell. Ventura. Across to Elster. Elster swings the right leg towards the net, headed by Stevenson, but right onto the ground. McDonald can't get to it. Booted out of play into the Seahawk bench. Throwing once again for Julian. Julian long lob into the corner, trying to find Stevenson on the ground. Ventura trying to crash the ball. Deflected all the way out to midfield. Medeiros sends it long and deep for Connor Woods. Woods trying to shield the defender. Angles it back to O'Donnell. Now spins it towards the box. Knocked away by the Scots. That's Travis Singh. Colin Surface. Dribbling forward, no pressure. In the middle now it comes. Micah Craig through midfield. Knocked away by Medeiros for Salve. O'Donnell runs under it. Woods able to deflect it off of Ryan Modzelewski.
Good step there by Modzelewski.
Lester's pass deflected. O'Donnell fans on the strip. Fed forward by Josh Beveridge. Now picked off by Matt O'Donnell. Long into the corner. Stevenson trying to stay on sides. He does. Stevenson now. Left side trying to fight his way to the middle. Trying to roll run on the cage. It's deflected out of the range of Evan McDonald. Back to Woods. Woods now on the left side. Woods trying to run towards the net. Knocked away by Micah Craig. And taken back by Ian Burkhart. And then Lester knocks him over trying to get to the ball. And the physical play has picked up here in the last few minutes. Matt O'Donnell stumbling forward. Now to his right. Trying to find McDonald. Taken back by the Scots. Ramirez. Long into the corner. Ian Burkhart loses it out of play. Pleading for a call from the official on Casey Kelly. Not going to get it. Lester finds O'Donnell. O'Donnell. Tricky dribble, now feeds it to the far side, and that one way out of the range of Elster. Good job, though, to hustle back there and get in the frame. Elster comes up with it, finds O'Donnell. Elster a little shaken up, stretching out to get that ball to O'Donnell. He's going to try and stretch out on the far side. Ball on the near side now with Casey Kelly, slowly walking it forward over midfield. Sends it to Woods. It gets through his legs. Woods able to keep it alive, and now will chase it into the corner. Woods sends it all the way across the goal mouth, wide and to the right.
It looks like Elster still shaking up there, Andrew. But a good idea from Woods there, trying to get somebody to run onto it. Normally would be Elster coming in on that far post. And a few Seahawks will get up.
A few players warming for both sides here. Sprague's kick over midfield, headed by Ramirez. Loose on the ground at midfield. Craig feeds it away from O'Donnell. Jumping in is Julian, and now he's going to race to get back in position defensively. Elster just shielding off his man, Tyler Modzelewski, away from the ball to go out of play. And Julian will throw in for Salve with 25-18 to go in the first half. Still no score here. Neither of these keepers have really been tested yet. Woods. In the middle to Ventura. Trying to poke it forward towards McDonald. Knocked away by the Scots. Out to midfield now. Richie Lester runs under it. Across to Jordan Elster. Ventura looking to settle it down and cut to his right. Has it poked free. Able to run back and collect it and find O'Donnell. And O'Donnell trying to spin it into the corner. No one home. Ball out of play. And it will go back to Gordon.
Looking for Elster there, trying to get him to run onto it. He just put a little too much on it.
And it feels right now, Sal, like both these teams kind of throwing jabs, waiting for that first haymaker to come.
I think they're feeling each other out, and it's very similar to the game these two teams played in their first meeting this season. Slow start, trying to figure each other out, and with a lot more at stake in this one. Seahawks trying to get back to their first championship since 2012, and Gordon was in the championship last year. They fell to Endicott, and they're trying to get back to the championship for the second straight year.
Matt O'Donnell His pass across to Elster is taken away by the Scots. Modzelewski staggering now finds Burkhart in the corner. Burkhart trying to work on Julian, trying to poke it through him. Great job there by John Julian. Quick feet to stay with Burkhart. Spun towards the cage now, knocked away by Medeiros and kept in play.
You said, Andrew, great job by Julian. Not letting him get behind him, keeping the ball in front of him and making Burkhart try and make a play, and a weak cross that Medeiros was able to intercept.
Yavin Ramirez picked up by Connor Woods. Ball out of play, and Woods wants the call, having it go off of Ramirez, but he's lucky he didn't get a foul there. Looked like he had both hands on the back of Yavin Ramirez. Ball finds Ramirez now with an angle, and he will fire it wide left. Trying to catch Michael Payan glancing into the sun. Right now, Seahawks moving right to left, and for Payan, the sun is right in his eyes.
And we're halfway through this first half, Andrew. No real chances. And Payan hasn't had to deal with the sun so far.
Ball bounces away from Elster. Can be grabbed by the Scots. Stevenson trying to get to the ball, able to get there, looking for a foul call. Elster trying to send it long for McDonald. McDonald trying to touch it across. It's loose in front and cleared by the Scots out of the box. And now booted high in the air.
Another unlucky bounce for McDonald.
Kelly trying to drive it forward for McDonald again. Ball sent back to Kelly, into the midfield now to John Julian. That's the second time McDonald has had a bad bounce. McDonald this time chasing it towards the cage. It's fed out of play, and this will be the corner for Salve.
Great ball from Lester there, putting it right on McDonald's foot. And a good touch forward, but Modzelewski waiting for it.
And it will be McDonald to kick it away. And he's going to move quick towards the cage and headed by the Scots first. And out of play, it will belong to Salve. Elster to throw in. Loops it to Lester. Back to Elster. Along the far touchline. Elster stumbling forward, moves it back to John Julian. He'll fly it in the air and it'll come right to the mitts of Wesley Sprague. Off the kick from Julian.
That ball's won by Julian there. It goes to the midfield. Singh wins it. And Singh brings it down with his chest. Goes off his hand, but we'll keep playing. It goes to Ventura now. And Ventura is tripped up. And that'll be a free kick as Singh gets called for the foul. Ventura looking for more.
It's going to be McDonald to kick here. Actually, he's going to give away to Medeiros. Medeiros trying to move it wide left side to Woods, headed out of play by the Scots. And this will be another corner. McDonald will take the corner for Salve.
McDonald put a good ball in far post before. And Elster unable to get there. Let's see if he's got another good ball in him. The second one from this left side.
20 minutes to play in the first half. McDonald loops it to the far side again. Elster couldn't get to it first. Medeiros now with a try. It'll fall wide left side. Woods trying to leave it from McDonald. Poked away from him, but right to Woods in the near corner. Woods spins it in front, headed away by the Scots. Had Ventura crashing the net. Lester is fighting to keep it alive. Across to Medeiros. He will send it long again, looking for Woods. Able to head it into the box, headed over the crossbar by Ventura.
Lester and Woods, a great combination there. And Kelly so close to breaking this deadlock. A great bang-bang play.
Yeah, my mistake. Casey Kelly coming in from his backfield position there.
And Luxon Dambo will check in. He'll replace Noah Craig.
Momentum shifting ever so slightly in the Seahawks' direction. Stevenson tripped up from behind. And so now the foul's starting to pile up for the Scots here. Later stages of this first half. McDonald will take the kick. Just outside the 18.
Seahawks are knocking on the door, Angela, see if they can open it up here and get this first goal.
McDonald swings the right leg. Low line drive. Touched first by the Scots in the air, on the ground, and it will roll out of play, and it will be a goal kick for the Scots. Sprague's kick. Loose on the ground. Julian will watch it roll out of play. It will belong to Salve with 17:45 to play in the first half. No score still. Ball at midfield. Micah Craig with the right foot towards Ramirez, run into by Casey Kelly. Kelly shielding away the smaller Ramirez. Now jumping into the play is Beveridge, sending it down the left side. Julian make that Elster hustling to knock the ball free and finds Ventura. Great hustle there from Jordan Elster. And Connor Woods is going to come to the bench for arrest. That brings on Jimmy Dalton. It comes with 16:46 in counting to go here in a scoreless first half in this Commonwealth Coast Conference semifinal. McDonald trying to get to the ball, double teamed and just tied up. Loose ball comes to the Scots and then picked off by O'Donnell. Chip back to McDonald, looking to spin it into the corner wide. Elster able to run into it with space. Elster in the middle, shot from Stevenson with the back foot is blocked in front.
Good combination there. And like I said before, the Seahawks knocking on the door, Andrew.
In the last 10 minutes, you can feel the field is tilting in the Seahawks' favor right now.
The Scots had a lot more possession, and the Seahawks just picking up the pace.
Julian plays it back to his keeper, Pion. Back to Julian, and he can't control it. Hard pass there from Pion for Julian to handle under no pressure. And a throw in here for Gordon. Julian trying to rip it free in the corner, and it goes out of play and will belong to the Scots. And it will be a corner kick for Gordon. Ball into the middle, loose on the ground. Big scrum for it. Ramirez with a shot that's blocked by Ventura, out of play. Will be a throw in here for Casey Kelly, deep in Seahawk territory. Kelly loops it, it finds the foot of McDonald, and he will slow things up. Back to Noah Medeiros, junior captain. McDonald able to avoid Craig. Now we'll send it long and deep. Dalton sprinting, trying to track it. Heads it to keep it in play to himself. Good job there by Dalton. Now looking to dance in the corner against Modzelewski. Dalton finding an angle, sprinting through, and Modzelewski pokes it away from behind, and it's kept alive by the Scots. And then Dalton in a collision with Stephen Hines.
Good battle there from Dalton and Modzelewski, but a great turn there by McDonald, fooling even us up here. And Dalton doing a good job keeping it in play.
Sprague Sends it out to midfield, headed forward by O'Donnell. Craig knocks it away from McDonald, but O'Donnell able to jump into the frame and keep the ball alive. Matthew O'Donnell looking to slash his way into the middle. Rolls it to McDonald. Wide into the corner now, Owen Stevenson. Dalton looking for space. Stop and start into the middle, up top. McDonald sends it all the way across, and Elster, leaning the other way, is not going to be able to get there into that corner. Seahawks turn it over with 13:20 to go in a scoreless first half. Goal kick here for Wesley Sprague.
And Jacob Guerra entering for Evan McDonald.
And last time I saw Jacob Guerra, he was scoring 2 phenomenal goals here against Nichols in the final regular season game. He's one of those guys that brings great energy, almost like in basketball you call it the sixth man, the guy that comes off the bench and can pack a punch. He has been that for the Seahawks group as of late, and here he comes now, trying to settle it down, able to juggle it in the air, flip it into the corner. Stevenson trying to sprint under it. Kicked high in the air to the near side towards Jimmy Dalton and Ramirez. And those two will battle along the near touch line. Craig forward, Medeiros there to knock it free. Lester finds Guerra. Guerra now angling to the middle. Not able to square up the net in turn. He softly plays it to Elster. Elster back out high to Richie Lester. Line drive bouncing towards the box. It finds Dalton with the left foot, and a save made by Sprague.
Good save by Sprague there. His the first real chance for the Seahawks on the ground, that is. And Dalton is trying to poke it near post.
Sprague's kick is going to head out of play. John Julian will throw in. Moves it towards Guerra. On the ground, surface. Moving it to Burkhart. And the ball will roll back into Gordon territory. Hines will just play it back to Sprague. High kick, falling short of midfield, headed forward by the Scots, run under by Medeiros. He flips it in the air, looking for Dalton. And the ball out of play, last touched by Ramirez. .10:48 to play in the first half. No score between Salve Regina and Gordon College. Dalton in a crowd. Lost it, loose on the ground though for Ventura. Ventura trying to run from Josh Beveridge, excuse me. Greg O'Rourke yells out, "Fine, Guerra." Ball came there, then to Elster, and then the rebound almost came to Guerra out high. Burkhart now at midfield for the Scots. Able to put on the brakes and drop it back off to Craig. Craig chased by Guerra. Drop back off to surface. Craig once again before midfield to the near side now. Ryan Modzaleski with time and space will walk it forward. Chip to Beveridge. Beveridge now into the corner. Burkhart stops, and Casey Kelly with a clean steal.
It's a great strip from Kelly there. Just meeting him halfway, and Kelly's going to join the attack as he finds Stevenson.
Stevenson now sprinting down the left side, able to play it in front. Kelly with a shot, and it goes wide. He cannot believe it.
It looked like from our angle that was in the back of the net as soon as it left his foot. And a great play by Kelly there. Just joining the attack and keep going.
Well, the steal was like candy from a baby, and that shot would have been sweet if it found the back of the net for the Seahawks here on Halloween. Casey Kelly flips it towards Jimmy Dalton. Dalton with the angle, finds Stevenson. Stevenson slowed up and now sliding to make a great tackle. And across now to Ventura.
Great clean tackle from Stevenson there.
Ventura Softly into the corner. Elster sprinting down the right side, trying to feed it back to Guerra. Guerra can't score up the net, drops it back off to Ventura, and the Seahawks are going to have to reset here. And miscommunication there between Ventura and Elster. But another great run there for Salve. And they've really been tilting the field in their favor. A couple of great chances, but nothing to show for it yet.
They've done a great job over the last 14 to 15 minutes or so, really taking over this game. They've had a few golden opportunities. And Nathan Talsnick will enter for the Scots.
Matthew O'Donnell has it knocked away at midfield. Medeiros keeps it alive, wide of Lester. Along the near side now, Ramirez. Luxembourg has it poked out of play. Throw in here for Modzelewski for the Scots with 7:37 to play in the first half. No score. Ball on the ground, finds Julian. Rolls it out to Dalton, wide of him. Modzelewski in the air. Bouncing now for Medeiros, and offsides is called against the Scots. Clock rolling with 7:11 to play in the first half. Matthew O'Donnell able to keep on going around Ramirez. And the foul called here against the Scots. Too aggressive there was Yavin Ramirez. Dalton trying to poke it to himself. Out to Dombo. Casey Kelly runs into him there, feeds Dalton. Foot race into the corner for it. It goes out of play. It will belong to Salve. 6.5 to play in the first half. Dalton to throw in from the near touchline, deep in the left side corner. Flips it in towards Guerra. Now Matt O'Donnell will try to feed it into the far corner. Out of the range of Jordan Elster. Seahawks turn it over. Seahawks have had heavy pressure here late in this first half, searching for that elusive first goal. Scots turn over on the far touchline. Elster finds Julian. Julian's pass is deflected, bouncing for Guerra at midfield. Richie Lester now squibs it across the field, and we get a foul called here in the midfield.
A lot more fouls called in the first half against the Scots. One, maybe two called against the Seahawks through the first 40 minutes. And the Scots definitely bringing the physicality, as did Nichols did on Sunday afternoon.
Dalton can't step to that ball, goes out of play. We have 5 minutes even to play here in the first half. Craig. Travis Singh. Surface finds Craig. Back to Singh. Richie Lester there to intercept at midfield. Drops it all the way across to Jimmy Dalton. Surveying the field. Chips it to Stevenson. Stevenson to Matt O'Donnell. Matt O'Donnell moves it to the far side. Julian stumbling into the offensive end, has it poked free and grabbed now by Tyler Modzelewski. And the two of them go tumbling to the ground. No call from the official. And Medeiros sends it all the way back to Gordon territory. Elster chips it into the corner, and Sprague will race out and grab it and not give Stevenson a single chance. Talsnick turns it over to Dalton. Stevenson Wide in the corner, along the goal line. Back to O'Donnell. O'Donnell going to try for a long shot that goes high.
And Alessandro Oggiano, the freshman, will check in. He'll replace Rich Ventura, another freshman.
Aside from sophomore goalie Francesco Boncaldo, Oggiano is the second tallest player on the Seahawks squad, only behind the 6'4" Evan McDonald. And a couple of times we've seen some balls off corners or throw-ins that are just too high for the Seahawks to get to in front of the net. So I wonder if just to insert some size along the front line, that is why Oggiano has been put in the lineup here for these final 3 minutes.
And right away, getting into the action, getting called for a foul. But speed and size for Oggiano.
Surface sends it long and deep, bouncing over the head of Medeiros, but right to Micah Payan, who will only have to deal with the setting sun for another 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Even though he really has not had to deal with it all that much. In the last 20 minutes, the Seahawks have kept the ball on the Gordon side of the field.
Yeah, Wesley Sprague has been the busier of the two netminders. And I wonder if that will change in the second half, with Sprague then having to deal with the sun in 2 minutes' time.
Oggiano can't get to this ball. Ramirez now sprinting down the far side, trying to get away from Richie Lester. Medeiros finds the ball, boots it back out to midfield. Craig trying to turn. O'Donnell will not be able to get to it along the near side. Modzelewski. And back it comes to Modzelewski, trying to go around Guerra now, who pokes it to Dalton. Trying to turn up the field. Deflected off of Modzelewski. Throw in here for Casey Kelly with 99 seconds to go in the first half. Guerra, long and deep for Stevenson, who will be able to sprint under it into the near side corner. Stevenson looking to dance. Now into the middle. Guerra trying to find Oggiano. That's deflected and knocked out to midfield. 1:15 to play in the first half. Casey Kelly down the line to Dalton. Dalton trying to cross over, lost the ball. Clean strip there by Modzelewski.
Modzelewski just reading that brush tap from
1 minute remaining in the half.
Dalton.
Payan loops it out to Casey Kelly, and his passer O'Donnell is knocked away. Back up the field now come the Scots. Dambo turns it into the corner. Modzelewski run into by Casey Kelly. And the two of them shoulder each other to the boundary. Kelly, though, able to keep it in play and find Dalton. Now the Seahawks will look to break back the other way. Matt O'Donnell walks it forward, angling towards open daylight. Across to Elster. Elster wide into the corner. His cross deflected out of play. And this will be a goal kick here for the Scots, but just 15 seconds left.
Despite outplaying the Scots for the first 45, the Seahawks have not had bounces go their way.
7, 6, 5.
Down the left side, Yavin Ramirez will fire it wide at the horn. And that is how the first half will come to a close. The Seahawks dominate the later stages of this first half. They had a couple of great scoring chances, one for Casey Kelly from point blank range. But the score remains 0-0. Sal, what are your thoughts on the first half here between Salve and Gordon?
And the Seahawks dominated the first half, doing a good job trying to get on the board, but they were unable to do so. The bounces not going their way. And Gordon played very well the first 15 minutes or so, but the Seahawks really settled in and did a great job.
So 45 minutes in the books. 45 or more left to go to determine a winner here today. One of these teams will advance to the CCC Championship. The other will have their season come to a close. We'll take a break as we have reached halftime and then be back with our call of the second half in this Commonwealth Coast Conference semifinal. Welcome back to Topa Field here in beautiful and historic Newport, Rhode Island. This Commonwealth Coast Conference semifinal remains scoreless between Salve Regina and Gordon College. Andrew Pizzelli alongside Sal Gautieri bringing you the call. Seahawks moving left to right here in this second half, and we're underway. Sal, what are your thoughts on that first half? What the Seahawks have to do here in this second half to advance to a championship game?
They were knocking on the door for the last 20-25 minutes of that first half. Let's see if they could just open that door. Big chance for them to advance to their first championship game.
Casey Kelly feeds it forward. On the far side, Connor Woods can't get to it. Medeiros now sends it long and deep towards Stevenson, headed first by the Scots. Hines, but kept in play by Connor Woods. And it'll roll off of Woods' foot and out of play. Ventura trying to pressure Micah Craig, and he causes it to go out of play. Throw in towards Woods, headed towards Ventura, booted away by the Scots, long and deep.
Smart play by Medeiros there.
Pion's kick, bouncing into Scots territory. McDonald trying to turn and fire it forward, but Travis Singh going over the shoulder there of McDonald. Scots will roll it out to midfield. Grabbed by Casey Kelly. Poke to O'Donnell. O'Donnell looking for space along the far side. Finds Stevenson. And then Stevenson is knocked over. Foul on the Scots out near the 30-yard line.
Yeah, all the proceeds.
Seahawks drew a number of fouls late in that first half. McDonald and O'Donnell both out near the ball, and now Matt O'Donnell, the only one standing out there at the 30-yard line, will kick this one away. Swings the right leg, line drive towards the net, bounces on a hop to Sprague. Burkhart at midfield finds Beveridge. Now down the right side, shot is blocked. Tyler Modzaleski with that chance. And it's taken back by the Scots. Modzaleski with another shot that goes wide. And a corner kick coming here for the Scots.
Tyler Modzaleski, the senior, the older brother of Ryan Modzaleski. Tyler did not play in the first contest, and he was recognized by the coaches first team all-conference.
Corner here for Gordon. Left-footed kick, bouncing towards the box, and McDonald kicks it out of play. This will be another corner. From the far corner, line drive headed down to the ground. JP Julian able to find it. And now McDonald will sprint with it out to midfield, touching it to himself. It goes out of play, and they're going to give it to the Scots.
Good job there by the freshman Ryan Modzaleski.
Colin Surface to throw in. Medeiros, one touch, back to Ventura. Richie Lester sprinting to it, and we'll send it too far for Woods. In the middle, Noah Craig to the near side to Colin Surface. Trying to sprint past McDonald. Into the corner, Yavin Ramirez will send it towards the goal, and it goes just over the crossbar.
Gordon definitely picking up the intensity after that 15-minute break. And they started the game with a leg up on the Seahawks, just winning 50-50 balls and being more physical, and they've matched the way they played in the first half now in the second half too.
Pion's kick comes up short of midfield. Craig heads it all the way back. Medeiros will track it for Salve. And he gives it up. Into the corner. Scots with possession. Beveridge trying to fight his way through 3 Seahawks. Richie Lester comes to knock it free. McDonald looks to settle it down along the near side, and he does. McDonald spins it all the way back across the field. Connor Woods collects it on a hop and sprints into the offensive end. Woods, touch to Ventura, trying to get it back to Woods. O'Donnell keeps it alive, rolls it on the cage, and an easy save there for Sprague.
And McDonald was calling for it there. He wanted Woods to cut back in and switch the field just like he did.
Wesley Sprague with the goal kick. Headed by Woods. O'Donnell battling against Micah Craig. Ball poked back into Gordon territory. Deflected by O'Donnell. Ventura trying to feed it along for Stevenson. Stevenson makes the tackle and is called for the foul.
And Stevenson there has the knack for going in for a slide tackle, but that time studs up. And a dirty one. He had a few clean ones through the first 45.
11-6 is the shot advantage for Salve Regina. 5-1 in shots on goal. 3-2 corner advantage, though, for the Scots. Ventura. Back to Lester. McDonald along the near side. Julian finding McDonald. Elster along the near touchline. Moves it into the middle again to Lester. And he'll look to flip the field back to Casey Kelly. Connor Woods, who was the hero for the Seahawks on Sunday and their 1-0 win over Nichols. Another tight one here. No score yet. Julian keeps it away from Ramirez. Now Julian has his pass deflected. Back comes Yavin Ramirez. And I think Elster is going to get himself a card here.
And Jordan not happy there.
So a yellow card for Jordan Elster. And it was, in my eyes, minimal contact.
Jarvin sold it a little bit. But yellow card for Elster.
Elster saying, hey, there was a similar play in the first half. Kick on the ground from Burkhart. Top of the box, and it's ripped away by Ventura. Kept alive by the Scots, though, into the corner. Micah Craig.
And Julian getting called for a foul there.
And now he is not happy.
Julian got a yellow in the second half on Sunday.
So deep in the near side corner, left side, will be a kick here for the Scots. Blocked in front. And racing over is Colin Surface. Twisting it back in, headed by Ventura. Then Stevenson. Ball comes to Matt O'Donnell. Now McDonald looking to turn and find Elster, who was able to sprint to it and keep it alive. And down the line, that ball stays on the line and finally rolls out past the goal line.
Good effort by Jordan there. McDonald just put a little too much mustard on that through ball.
Ball bounces away from Lester. Taken by the Scots. Tyler Modzaleski. Ramirez. And Julian lost the ball. Modzaleski down the left side. Stop and start. Crosses it into the middle. Knocked away by Casey Kelly. And out of bounds. Possession for Gordon. And now things starting to lean in favor of the Scots here the last few minutes. And really since the start of this half, they have come out with great energy. Ball left at the top of the box, free for Matt O'Donnell to grab and run out to midfield for Salve. Kelly will carry it. Stevenson left for O'Donnell, trying to find McDonald, trying to chip it into space towards Stevenson. Knocked away, but free now for Jordan Elster down the right side. Elster trying to feed it on the net, deflected out of play, and a corner kick coming here for Salve.
And that ball just landing on the foot of Elster. And you said it, Andrew, the first 10 minutes, all Scots, but a good chance here for the Seahawks to put that to bed.
McDonald will be the one to put it in play. Near side corner, right side. McDonald swings the leg. Low line drive headed first by the Scots. O'Donnell will spin it towards the net. That is blocked. Richie Lester trying to chip it back in. Ventura will try and strike from deep, and it goes wide left. Goal kick coming here for Wesley Sprague. Lester heads it forward, grabbed by the Scots. And chipped too far for Yavin Ramirez. Goal kick for Michael Pion. Clock rolling, 34:15 to play. Here in a scoreless game in the Commonwealth Coast Conference semifinals. Into the middle, Hines. Burkhart able to spin away from contact from Casey Kelly. Medeiros out to pressure Tyler Modzaleski. Matt O'Donnell jumping in to try and knock it away. Modzaleski able to keep it in. Ball down the left side. Casey Kelly out to challenge defensively. Cross in front, and those guys score! Falling down and making a pass into the middle and firing it home for the Scots is Micah Craig. And Gordon jumps on top, 1-0.
That's phenomenal work there from Josh Beveridge. Winning the ball, getting a cross in while falling down. And the Fighting Scots lead 1-0. The Seahawks' first deficit of the postseason. And it'll be McDonald now. He has it. He gives it to Ventura. Ventura loses it to Jarwin Ramirez. Ramirez dribbling through the middle. Ramirez is going to keep going, getting through Seahawks, and they lose it. And it goes to Ventura now. Ventura making a run. He lays it off for Connor Woods. Woods trying to play it down the line for him. He can, and it's stopped by Modzaleski. And O'Donnell meets Modzaleski there. And O'Donnell, and it comes out, and here's Ian Burkhart. He finds Modzaleski. Modzaleski hits one. He scores! Ryan Modzaleski, or Tyler Modzaleski, that is, and 2 goals in less than a minute for the Fighting Scots.
And my goodness, how this one has swung. All Seahawks late in the first half, but Gordon starting this half with great energy. And we said earlier we were waiting for the haymaker to come. 2 of them from the Scots.
2 in less than a minute, Andrew. And just a great hit from Tyler Modzaleski. Not much Pion could do there. As Nat Crocker will enter the game. He'll replace Matt O'Donnell.
And the Seahawks now have dug themselves a hole.
The biggest deficit they have faced all season, 2 goals.
And 32 minutes and 49 seconds to work with. McDonald trying to find Stevenson. Stevenson sprinting down the left side. Stevenson able to keep it alive. Moves it up top. McDonald trying to settle it down. Trying to fight his way towards the net. Lost the ball. Back out it comes to Julian. Scots leading 2-0, and a foul called here against Gordon. Julian trying to go for the ball, and I think a little bit of a flop here from the Scots, trying to milk a call. And meanwhile, play continues on the far side, and now we've got all sorts of confusion. And I tell you, Richie Lester, who is usually very mild-mannered, he is hot right now. That play should not have been stopped.
And Micah Craig there, definitely John Julian just trying to get the ball as Craig was holding it in his hands. Now Lester wondering if they could play now. A wild past 3 minutes here from Topa. 2 big goals for the Scots. And nobody has been able to do that to the Seahawks all season long.
Ball headed wide and out of play will belong to Salve. Seahawks trailed 2-0 to Wentworth. Came back and won that game in a thriller, 4-3. But have not faced a larger deficit than this at any point this season. Very rarely even trailed. McDonald off the corner, and it's going to find Crocker. He gets knocked to the ground. Then the ball fed out of play along the near touchline. Julian looking to throw in now for Salve. Woods trying to fight his way through traffic. Ball loose at midfield. Medeiros trying to chase it away from Tyler Modzaleski. And now a foul called here against Medeiros.
And the lead referee now just telling them to stop. Time to just play. A hostile past 5 minutes.
Well, you can feel the energy shift for the Seahawks now, shifting into desperation mode very quickly. It was going to change that way anyways, falling behind 1-0 here in an elimination game, but now trailing by 2 goals. A mountain to climb for the Seahawks. But we've seen this team score in bunches. Here comes Nat Crocker. Crocker tied up, lost the ball. And now the Scots send it long and deep. Ramirez and Julian there to knock it free. And the Gordon crowd is hot.
And Julian did not look for the ball there. You saw it in his face. He was going just to take him out. And no foul called.
Elster fell down, is not able to get to that ball.
And O'Donnell will check back in. And Crocker will exit.
Ball looped into midfield. Matt O'Donnell trying to get to it. Elster can't get in the way of this pass. Will bounce all the way to the near side to Luxandambo. Stripped by Julian. Julian trying to get it to Woods. Now Julian again, time and space. Back to Lester. Into the middle towards O'Donnell. And Ventura picked off by Craig. Sent towards Dombo, able to tip it to himself and keep it alive. He's going to send it wide to the right side. And Kelly there to knock it away out to midfield. Giving back to Casey Kelly. Rolled towards Jordan Elster. Looking for O'Donnell. Kept alive by the Scots.
And even though the Scots are ahead, it seems like they're playing as if they are from behind. Keeping the pressure on the Seahawks. Not sitting.
Matt O'Donnell. To Stevenson, now Ventura. Back towards Stevenson's corner, collected and fired towards Ventura. He keeps it alive. Stevenson looking to turn to the inside, cannot. Has to play it all the way back. Casey Kelly, now Richie Lester. Near side O'Donnell. And the Seahawks moving backwards here. All the way back to Pion.
Seahawks moving north-south right now. They need to be moving east-west. As Pion sent it out of play.
That one right into the crowd.
Right to the Gordon faithful.
A good crowd here at Topa. Good mix of Seahawk and Scott fans. But it's been the Scots making noise here in this second half. Free ball forward. Dombo with a shot, and he scores from deep. And the Scots pouring it on, lead 3-0.
An absolute howitzer from the freshman, Luxon Dambo. 3 goals in 6 minutes for the Fighting Scots.
That shot was on a rope.
And I think the Seahawks right now are just plain stunned.
Well, look at the replay on this.
Crowd as well.
Dombo from beyond the 20-yard line, going top shelf right side on Michael Pion.
As McDonald tries to hit one from midfield.
And now the Seahawks really with their backs against the walls.
Haven't had a 3-goal deficit all season long. Seahawks trying to avoid their first loss of the 2018 campaign here in the semifinals.
And the biggest thing, I think, and I'm sure head coach Kruger Rourke II will be saying this to his team, you can't even look at the scoreboard now, especially for the seniors that are out there on this field. Put your heads down, play your hardest for 26 minutes, and hopefully find a way to tie this thing up.
As Woods does so.
3-0, Gordon with the lead, and a stunned Seahawk crowd.
Two of those goals on absolute rockets. Tyler Modzelewski's. Pion got a hand to it, but Dambo's putting that upper corner as McDonald wins a free kick.
Clock rolling, 26:18 to play. McDonald's kick, is blocked in front. Chipped by the Scots. Pinching in is Julian to head it back. And then one touch back to Luxon Dombo. And he fires it into space. Richie Lester will hustle back and play it to his keeper. And Pion's kick sails out to midfield. Casey Kelly on the ground to McDonald. And McDonald has it poked free, able to get it back. Matt O'Donnell. Down the right side, O'Donnell rolling it into the corner, facing a double team. His cross deflected. Connor Woods right side, spins it towards the goal, and Stevenson heads it wide of the pipe left side.
Stevenson trying to aim it for that far post, doing a good job. But he missed the mark. It's desperation time for the Seahawks.
Seahawks had all those chances in the first half that were near misses. A couple of brilliant ones in front. A couple of balls that just couldn't bounce the right way for the likes of O'Donnell and McDonald in that first half. And you wonder if we'd be looking at a different game, one of those falls, and it's 1-0 Salve, a whole different feel the way they play the second half. Here's Modzelewski again. Will try and fire it high and wide.
Modzelewski bringing the heat on that one.
All Scots here in this second half from the get-go. It is 3-0 Gordon in this conference semifinal.
That 10-minute spurt for the Fighting Scots, getting those 3 goals. Obviously changed it on the scoreboard.
Ventura trying to fire from deep. On the ground, it's blocked.
But just changing the momentum as well. You feel as though the Seahawks just took a punch in the gut that they haven't taken all season. And it'll be up to them to be able to punch back. As Jimmy Dalton will enter, he'll replace Connor Woods.
Throw in here for the Scots. Possession with the lead, 23-35 to play in the second half.
And Nate Boyer enters for Ian Burkhart.
Ball kicked all the way back to Seahawk territory, making Casey Kelly retrieve it. I think as time starts to tick down, we're going to see a lot of that. And the Seahawks have had trouble cleanly possessing in the box here this afternoon. Spent a lot of almosts. Haven't gotten the ball to really settle for them. You know the Scots are going to start to pack things in even more when the Seahawks get to this end of the field. Ventura. Wide to McDonald. McDonald along the near side, crosses to the inside. Moves it to O'Donnell, and he fires it well high. Just got underneath that one.
Nothing seems to be going the Seahawks' way in this second half with 22.5 remaining and potentially the season.
That is plenty of time for this team. We've seen them do it. Maybe not in this situation, trailing by 3, but we've seen them put up goals in a hurry. Just can't take too long to get that first one. Maybe put the pressure back a little bit on Gordon. Playing with house money right now, leading 3-0. And they call a foul, I believe. Out near the 40-yard line. It'll be Ryan Modzaleski kicking it away here with 21:37 to play. Low line drive, bouncing to the top of the box, grabbed by McDonald. And he will spin it out to Dalton. Poked out of bounds by Luxembourg. Seahawks will throw in. Julian along the near touchline finds McDonald. McDonald chips into space to Dalton, back to McDonald. Into the middle, Ventura looking to turn inside, loses it to O'Donnell. O'Donnell wide and into space. Played towards the net, headed wide. Taken now by Dalton, and he tried to spin it with the left foot. It goes wide and out of play. Goal kick here for the keeper, Sprague. In the air, over midfield, Dalton heading it towards Ventura. Kept alive by the Scots. Dombo has it poked free by Ventura. Now into the corner along the near side. Not able to keep it in play is Noah Craig. McDonald. Back to Julian. Time and space for John Julian. Softly to McDonald and given away to the Scots. Off and running now is Josh Beveridge. Stumbling, he loses it. Micah Craig jumping in around Lester. Into the far side corner now. Casey Kelly out there defending for Salve on Nate Boyer. Ball still trapped in the corner. Kelly double team trying to get it away. Able to slide and poke it towards Medeiros, who fires it out to midfield, but can be controlled by the Scots. Elster trying to settle it down. And draws a foul against Gordon just before midfield. Clock will soon become an issue, though, for Salve. 19-27 and counting. 3-goal deficit for the Seahawks. Ball on the ground. Bounces away from Stevenson. Julian flicks it in the air to Jimmy Dalton. Dalton with the left foot trying to find Stevenson. There to knock it away is Travis Singh. Craig into the middle. Medeiros can't knock it away from Tyler Modzaleski. Casey Kelly takes it away. Elster on the far side. Elster across the field now to McDonald, who turns with 18:47 to play. Trying to twist it towards Elster, crashing the net. Rebound bounces all the way back out to McDonald. Softly into the corner to Dalton. Dalton angling to his left, trying to cross it in front, knocked away. Dalton fighting for the rebound. Down on the goal line, poked out of play, and a corner coming for the Seahawks, and a big one with 18:28 and counting to go in the second half.
And they're going to send numbers into the box. Medeiros and Kelly will join the attack here.
And they're going to stop the clock. They stop it with 18:15 to play. I'm not sure. I think the official just wants to clarify where players should be. They start the clock again. Kick from McDonald, headed loose on the ground, rolled towards the net, and Sprague makes a save.
And there's a handball. And it'll be a penalty for the Seahawks. A chance for them to get on the board with 18:10 remaining. And Andrew, if they want to come back here,
need this.
O'Donnell must convert.
Penalty shot from Matt O'Donnell against Wesley Sprague. This coming with 18:10 to go in the half. O'Donnell with a shot, and he scores!
And that's one for the Seahawks, Andrew. That was a must convert for the Seahawks and O'Donnell. As Elster will check out, Connor Woods will re-enter.
That makes it a 2-goal deficit with 18:10 to play. Across now for Dalton. Ball bouncing away from Medeiros. Plays it back to Michael Payan. Payan on the ground. Richie Lester bounces it to Jimmy Dalton. Back to Lester. Medeiros walks it forward now across to Lester. 17:27 to play. Potentially in the Seahawks season. McDonald chipping it to Dalton. Dalton into the corner, trying to keep it alive. He does. And now a foot fight for it along the near touchline. Dombo spins it into space. Julian hops to it. Moves it back to Lester. Seahawks really moving everyone up into the attacking area now. Julian heads it forward, but out of play. Throw in here for the Scots.
And Jarvin Ramirez will check back in.
Colin Surface will throw in for the Scots along the near side. 16:40 to go in the second half. Scots got a 3-0 lead. O'Donnell on a penalty shot, got one back. Here's Ventura staggering out across for a shot, and they score! Owen Stevenson makes it 3-2, and the Seahawks crowd is in a frenzy.
Great finish there from Stevenson, but Rich Ventura, what a job weaving through defenders. And Stevenson with a great finish there. Another postseason assist for Rich Ventura. And the Seahawks are 1 goal away now from tying this one up.
We'll get a look at the replay here of this one. And Stevenson just with enough mustard on that. And my oh my, do we have a finish in store for you folks. 16:15 to play in the second half. A 1-goal game here in a conference semifinal.
Well, the Fighting Scots had that 10-minute interval where they put 3 in the back of the net, and the Seahawks had put 2 in the back of the net in the last 4 minutes. Throw in here for Gordon.
Far touchline, just off the end of the Seahawks bench. Casey Kelly rips the ball free. Medeiros sends it out to midfield. Turning, looking to run is Stevenson. Stevenson has some green space, and he sprints up the left side. Stevenson, stop and start. Trying to play it up top. McDonald not in position for it. A little bit of a miscommunication there. Ramirez along the near side. Julian giving him space to the inside. Ramirez takes it, feeds it across the field. Looks in Dombo with a shot that goes wide. 15 minutes to play in the second half. Seahawks alive and well. Looking for one more goal to tie this one up. Lester as it roll wide of his foot. Medeiros trying to find McDonald. Now Lester hops to it. Squibbed it off the end of his foot. Yavin Ramirez now down the left side. Trying to get around Julian. Julian knocks him to the ground. They say no call.
Good job by Julian there. Using his body. Just pushing off Jarvin Ramirez.
Goal kick for Michael Pion. 14 to play in the half.
Dalton will exit, and so will McDonald, but I would imagine that the break for McDonald will be short-lived.
Brings on Jacob Guerra. Scott send it back to Seahawk territory. Bouncing, though, for Pion. 13:50 to play. Bouncing ball for Elster. Elster, stop and start, near side. In the middle to Lester. Dropped back to Medeiros. Medeiros, long and deep all the way across the field. Kept in play by Connor Woods. Into the near side. Elster hustling to keep it in play. And he's whistled out of play.
Good idea there from Woods, and a great effort by Elster trying to get there. .13:08 and counting. Here now a one-goal game. The Seahawks have given themselves a chance with plenty of time left. Kick short of midfield. Can be grabbed by Nathan Talznick. Luxembourg. Back to Craig. Dropped on further now for Colin Surface. Pinching in is Elster. Julian pokes it out of play. Throwing for the Scots, who now will look to just hang on to this one-goal lead. The three-goal lead seems so insurmountable 10 minutes ago.
Ball out of play will belong to the Scots.
But the Seahawks have willed their way back into this contest.
Woods knocks it free, can't get to it, and the Scots send it long and deep. And now headed forward, here comes Ramirez, and he's called offside.
And the Seahawks get a gift there. Jarvin Ramirez, freshman of the year in the conference, in alone, one-on-one with Pion. But called offsides.
And his whole crowd oohing and eyeing and hanging on every second here down the stretch. Good mix of Scots and Seahawks fans here at Topa. And it has been a fireworks show here in this second half. Nothing at halftime. 5 goals on the board. Seahawks hoping for another one. Cross in front, knocked away. Guerra with a shot, and it's saved by Sprague.
What a save by Sprague, keeping this game tied.
Elster again crossing it in front. Headed wide. Woods with a drive. That's blocked. Headed towards the goal again, and an easy save there for Sprague.
A phenomenal save by Sprague there.
Thought that one was going to just careen off of Sprague, off the foot of Guerra. Ventura along to Elster on the near side. Looking to carry middle. Finds O'Donnell. O'Donnell, fancy footwork in midfield. Back to Medeiros, now all the way across to Casey Kelly. Racing up the field with 10:41 to play. Kelly into the offensive end. Wide into the corner. Can Woods get there? He can. Woods now trying to cross it in front, and racing out is Sprague.
Sprague using that 6'2" frame to just come out and grab that ball.
10:23 to play. Kick from Sprague. Set in the air into Seahawk territory. Headed towards the goal. Ramirez and Julian fighting for it. Ramirez comes free. Pooches it over the head of Pion. And the Scots regain a 2-goal advantage.
Jarvin Ramirez, the freshman of the year in the conference, with a huge goal for the Fighting Scots. Doubling their lead. It's now 4-2.
10:09 to play. What a second half we've had. Let's get a look here at that goal. Ramirez and Julian, I believe, battling. And just a little pooch shot over the hands of Pion, who had the angle. Monster play. Monster goal for the Scots. Now the Seahawks find themselves down 2 once again. Under 10 minutes to play. Matt O'Donnell down the left side. Wide into the corner. The swings we have had in this game, Jacob Guerra had a shot that nearly had enough strength to go off of Sprague and in. That would have tied this game. And Sprague jumps out now to rip it away from Ventura.
That 6'2" frame, 205 pounds. Sprague able to get up. With 9:15 remaining here in this game. And the way the Seahawks have played, it seems like it's an eternity until we get to the finish line.
Foul called against the Scots. It's one of those things, though, as you're trying to make a comeback, you fight and fight and fight. And if you don't get over the top, over the hump, it can be deflating. Seahawks, like we said earlier, just have to not pay attention to the clock, put their heads down. They wanted a 4th goal anyways in regulation. Now they're going to have it.
As Alexis Dambo, who scored the 3rd goal. And right now, that goal is the difference.
Sprague's kick. Twirling over midfield. Matt O'Donnell there to head it. Touched by the Scots. Burkhart had it and gives it away to Casey Kelly.
And Evan McDonald re-enters.
O'Donnell has it ripped free. And now twirling is Josh Beveridge. Sends it all the way in towards Pion, who will kick it with 7:50 to play. Seahawks trailing by 2.
Good flick there by Stevenson, and McDonald cannot get there.
And it's picked up by Sprague. Bouncing ball finds Ramirez. Ramirez and Lester tangling down the left side. Julian there as well. And it's out of play and will be a goal kick from Michael Pion. Crunch coming here though now. 7:10 to play. Seahawks trailing by 2. Ball lost out of play. Belongs to Salve. Julian to throw in from the near touchline. Flicks it in towards Stevenson, who heads it forward, but it's booted all the way long and deep. Medeiros will watch it sail over his head, and he'll play it back to his keeper. Pion kicks it away, out of play. .6:25 to play. Throw in for the Scots. Kelly knocks it in the air out towards midfield, away from McDonald. O'Donnell settles it down, trying to find Ventura. He lets it go by. Here's McDonald now at midfield. Sends it wide right side for Jordan Elster. Sprinting, trying to get around Colin Surface. Elster to his left foot, dancing in the corner against Surface. Moves it out high, trying to feed McDonald, and it's picked off by the Scots. Beveridge run into by Medeiros. Touch to Ventura. Ventura to McDonald. McDonald to his left, looking for space, chipping it towards Ventura, trying to turn. Stevenson with a shot, is saved by Sprague. Rebound loose, knocked out of play, and this will be a goal kick for the Scots.
Great save by Sprague. But if you're Stevenson there, he had a lot of space. You got to try and attack the net there. But a great save by Sprague, keeping this game at 2 goals apiece.
5:21 to play. Ventura trying to get to it. Lester. Ventura along the near side. Looks to turn. The ball's fed out of play. Throw in for Salve. Have to hurry. 5 minutes to play now. Surface knocks it away for Gordon. Headed in the air once again by Burkott on the ground. Lester trying to move it across to O'Donnell. Beveridge there to rip it from him. Sends it all the way long and deep, making the Seahawks just chase it into their own territory. Ventura trying to find the ball. Taken by the Scots, Noah Craig. And they will play back to the keeper with 4.5 to play. Sent long and deep. And headed again into Seahawk territory. Medeiros has to chase back. Flicks it to John Julian. Up the field to McDonald. 4:15 to play. Stevenson staggering there, lost the ball. Racing in his Lester, he can't get to it. Ramirez flicked along to Modzelewski. Down the line, Julian has to chase after it. Looks to turn now. It rolls off his foot out of play. This will be a throw-in deep in Seahawk territory for the Scots, who can burn more valuable time off the clock.
And Colin Surface taking his sweet time getting down there.
Clock rolling, 3:45, 3:44, 3:43 to play in regulation. Seahawks trailing by 2. And it's lost out of play. Seahawks will throw in, and now Richie Lester in a shoving match in the corner with Tyler Modzelewski. And he's issued a card. And they stopped the clock with 3:34 to play. And Lester will throw in deep in the corner from that spot. He gets a word from the official as well. No caution offered to Richie. Possession taken by the Scots at midfield. Beveridge turning, plays it to Ramirez wide in the corner, and he's able to keep it in play. Ramirez dribbling into the corner, trying to knock it off of Noah Medeiros. Ball finds Ventura. Lester with 3 minutes to play. Seahawks trapped in their own end of the field. And now more pushing and shoving. This time Micah Craig in the middle of it. Pion has his pass deflected off of Ian Burkhart. Julian sends it long and deep. McDonald has it poked away by Surface. And now Beveridge and the Scots just possessing their way to the close here. Ventura chasing after Craig. Beveridge in the middle to Modzelewski. And he will just spin it softly into the corner. Casey Kelly tracks it down and will walk it forward. Deflected off of a Scott, out of play. 2:15 to play. Seahawks need 2 goals in 2 minutes to force overtime and save their season. And the Scots send it all the way back to Medeiros. In the air, on the ground, Lester Now Kelly for Salve. In the middle, Ventura. Trying to send it wide on the ground, picked off by the Scots. Julian has to chase back, and Pion races out, and Julian knocked to the ground. We get a whistle here, and they're calling the foul against Julian, and that is costly.
And Julian not happy there, screaming at the official. Just a 50-50 play there, and Julian got the run of it.
More importantly here, more time coming off the clock.
This play has already wasted 30 seconds. And the Scots intend to take their time with 70 seconds remaining.
Modzelewski's kick off of Medeiros. Final minute of regulation. Seahawks need a miracle. Casey Kelly has it poked free. It goes off the official. Kept alive by McDonald. Chip to Woods on the far side. 47 seconds to play. Woods sends it towards the goal, and Sprague collects it on a hop as Casey Kelly gets spilled out. And the Scots can feel it now with the ball and the lead, and 30 seconds left here. It was scoreless at half. Ball flicked towards the net. Pion collects with 20 seconds. And he kicks it away with 14 seconds left. Bouncing and grabbed by the Scots. They send it in the air, and the countdown coming from Matt Hurd. Gordon comes into Newport, stuns the Seahawks, hands them their first loss of the season, and they will play in the Commonwealth Coast Conference championship game this Saturday.
Andrew, what a heartbreaking end to the season for the Seahawks. An undefeated regular season, getting their first win in the first round of the playoffs. But the playoffs are a different animal as we await the results of the other contest. The Seahawks matching the most wins in program history with 16 in this magical run that they had this season. 16 wins, 3 ties, and that lone loss coming tonight. And for the 9 seniors that will depart, as Roger Williams and Endicott will kick off overtime at Endicott. And the Fighting Scots will await the winner of that contest, and they will kick off on Saturday.
And the Scots conceivably could be hosting with the top-seeded Gulls and Hawks battling in overtime scoreless in that affair up in Beverly. But here today, as you were saying, Sal, 4-2 the final. Gordon upsetting the Seahawks. And it was 0-0 at the half. We felt like Salve had a number of scoring chances that they just couldn't convert. And then Gordon, wasting no time, they scored in a hurry in the start of this second half, and then added the 2 extra goals. That really made this one, they put it out of reach, 3-0. Too difficult of a hole for the Seahawks to dig out of, but they had plenty of chances.
And you felt when Stevenson made it 3-2 that the Seahawks were going to climb right back into this one. They had some chances when it was 3-2, but that Jarvin Ramirez goal was a backbreaker, and it proved to be the difference.
4 goals on 5 shots on goal for the Scots. The Seahawks outshot Gordon 23-11 and 11-5 in shots on goal. Gordon, though, they won it all in 2015 and will have a chance to win it again after falling in the conference championship game last year, as the Seahawks faithful give a round of applause to their team. A magical season for the Seahawks. A bitter end for them here tonight. And as you said, for the Seahawks and their seniors, Nat Crocker, Jordan Elster, Richie Lester, Jimmy Dalton, Matthew O'Donnell, Connor Woods, John Julian, Evan Lasky, who didn't play this whole season. We'll wait to see if he gets to come back for a 5th year next year. And obviously the keeper, Michael Pion, disappointing end to their Seahawk careers, but a magical season that it was here for Salve. Wrapping things up, the Scots, as we said, will advance. Not sure who they'll play. It'll either be Roger Williams or Endicott. They'll either be hosting the Hawks or traveling not too far down the road from their campus to play Endicott this Saturday for the Commonwealth Coast Conference title. They improved to 11-6-1 on the season. Salve suffering their first loss of the year. They fall to 16-1-3, and that will be the final mark this year for Salve Regina. I'd like to thank our entire staff and production crew. Madison Ugaitis providing the camera work here tonight. Chris Ryan providing the live stats, and Brett Wilkes providing some wonderful pictures from the sideline that'll be available on our Salve Athletics website later tonight. For Sal Galtieri, I am Andrew Pizzelli. Once again, final here today. The Scots stun the Seahawks in Newport and advance to the Commonwealth Coast Conference Championship game by a 4-2 final. Thank you for listening, everyone. Have a good night.